for some people to get on here. Hi, Lisa. I hope that you have your drink, because I do. Yummy, yummy.
Hi,
Hi. How are you?
I realized today you should not do Instagram with your phone down here because you see this.
I see.
It's supposed to be up here.
You're so funny.
It looks so much better.
Let me turn my music down. I have my mindfulness music on.
Oh, I love that. You're setting the mood.
I have my incense burning. I have my candles lit.
Yum.
I have my margarita that Bill made me. Cheers, girl. Oh, I'm so excited. And he's so funny because I'm like, I really want a margarita, but I need you to come home because he goes, oh, don't worry. I can go get it real fast. I'm like, oh, okay. So he comes home with tequila and this margarita mix. And he's like, and guess what? It's only 10 calories. Like, thanks, babe.
Where did he get it? I need that.
I don't know. I don't know if he went to Total. I don't know what's open right now, but he got the the After the Rock.
So I'm reading the
the After the Rock apparently has like a new tequila out, and that's the one that he bought. So I don't know.
I love it.
Whatever. Awesome. Love it. Love it.
Everybody got their drinks.
I know. I'm so excited. I feel like I want everyone to be like, join in the video, and just a whole bunch of us up in this freaking little blocks, like the Brady Bunch.
So nice. That would be so nice.
Hey, your talk was so good this morning.
Oh, thank you. How's your week going?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Jennifer, what have you been up to?
Oh, Mom.
We last saw you in Dark Side of the Full Moon.
It's been a long time since I've seen you. I mean, we haven't been in like the same space in like years, right?
Oh,
I think it's been like, yes. When was the last time I saw you?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Was it that perinatal conference in Orlando?
Oh my gosh. Really? That was 2015. When was that? 17?
I don't know.
15, 16? I think it was 2016.
I don't know if I still had a mother. I don't know. That's how
how you gauge things.
Like, did I have a mom or did I not have a mom?
That was 4 years ago.
Wow. That's
crazy.
You're
but
right.
No, I'm still with Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies. Loving that. And it's so funny because we actually have our teen moms do vision boards. Yeah, and they really enjoy that. I mean, they enjoy the process of it. A lot of them have no idea what a vision board is. So it's a lot of fun to kind of show them. And then once we tell them they can get to cut up magazines and, play with glue and stuff, they get really excited. I'm like, all right, let's go for it.
All right, tell me what we're going to do. What are we doing?
Okay, so what we're going to do is create a vision board with whatever materials you have. And if you don't have any materials, that is okay. You can simply just write down notes from things that I talked to you about today, things that you can put on the board. Or if you even just have like a blank piece of whatever, you can just start writing down like images that you want to find, words that you want to make sure that are on there. Anything like that is fine. So I would right now kind of gather your materials if you have some things around the house that you want to get together. And then what I'm going to do is show you the vision board that I made in January. And it's so funny because my vision board, I couldn't implement like full force, because if you see the center of my board, I'm public speaking to lots of people.
Well, you're doing that
now. I'm doing it here virtually. And so what I had done was I set up my entire first 6 months of 2020 with speaking engagements. My calendar was like full.
Well, look, you're doing it right now.
And I'm doing it right now. So, and that's what I did. And so what we want people to know is if you've already, and actually
Jen,
what I want you to do.
my brave. Jen, this is my brave.
The little hand emoji or the little wave, I want to know who already has a vision board for 2020. Like if you've made one already, I'm just curious to kind of see like who has one. Okay, so I obviously don't want to get rid of my vision board, but I had to change my whole vision. And literally what happened overnight, like everyone else's worlds got flipped upside down with this pandemic. I had to move everything onto a virtual platform, like everything. So I had launched my Unlearning Emotional Eating course, which was all supposed to be done in person with small groups of people.
Really?
So I completely transformed it and did it all online. Obviously, I'm not speaking in person, but I'm trying to do more Zooms and things like that. But some of the other things on my board I've actually accomplished. Take a deep breath. So I've created this whole
so good. Jen, you're a rocket booster. You
are
so
funny. Yes, I heard you call me a rocket booster today.
I've always called you that.
I know. And then it's so funny because I have this little social media thing in the corner. Facebook and Instagram, and it says ditch the drama. So I want to ditch the drama on Facebook and Instagram, but to really get as many people on board with what I want to talk about, I need to be active on Instagram and Facebook. And it's been hard for me to do
that.
It's happening right now. I know it's like coming to life like right now. So it's very exciting. Very exciting.
And Lisa Tremaine wants to know, is that washi tape?
Yes, it is. All around the borders.
Super creative. And that looks like you in the middle.
See like how it's taped like around the back. The back isn't pretty.
Can you hold it up so we can like really look at it? So
can you see the tape?
Yeah, but I want to see the person in the middle.
Oh, the person in the middle. Oh yeah, she's my little thing I found online.
It does look like you.
I know, but it's not.
Now, where do you put this? Do you put this where you?
Okay, so this actually now is going in my meditation corner that I just created in my house. Should I show that to you?
Yeah.
Do you think that's possible? Okay, so let's see what I can do here.
Possible if you can walk with your phone.
Well, yeah, but I have to flip it around. Okay.
All right.
Okay, here we go. So this is my meditation corner.
Oh my God. Is that in your office?
This is my office. This is a corner of my office.
Wow.
So I have my yoga mat and all my books and pictures of people that, mean things in my life. And those are my notes for tonight. I on my tripod. But the corkboard here is where I put my vision board. And so here's my meditation table that my husband built me. And so this is it. Like, this is the corner of my space that allows me, this is like a vacation spot in my house.
I love it.
So, this room isn't off limits to anybody. But when the door is closed, everybody knows that mommy's either meditating or just wants to be left alone. So it's a good thing. I hide, and you know what? This space, it's literally a corner of my office. It's probably a 3-foot by 3-foot space. If you had a walk-in closet, you could do it there, whatever. So so that's where I put it. And we're going to talk about where you should put your board and how you even use it, because a lot of people make them and they have no idea, what do I do with this? Like, this is great, but I don't know what to do with it. Okay, so I want to talk about the different kind of boards you can make. Okay, so this is a true vision board. There are things on here that I want to have happen during 2020. Okay. Now, what you'll notice is there's not a lot of, I call them cheerleader words, like, you rock, go mama, you're awesome. Like, that stuff's not on here. Okay. I call that a cheerleader board. That's more of a motivational board. And my hope would be that you don't have to hang those words up, and that you have people in your world that tell you those things every day. And
but you might not. You might
find
not.
them. Yeah. Like, you need to find your tribe who verbally tells you that you are amazing and awesome. So don't put that on a board, because you need people to tell you that. What should be on your board are things that you want to come to fruition, whatever those things are. So for me, it was more public speaking events. It was, you know, doing yoga, fear less, live more. Like I wanted to not be scared of things, to try new things, whatever that is. I had my business card on there that I had created for this year.
Wow.
So those are the kind of things that are important to me. So you can decide what kind of board you want to make. I'm not going to tell you not to make a cheerleader board. You can do that if you want to. And you'll find tons of words in magazines that will support that board for you. So what do you put on your board? So if you're making an actual vision board, you want to think about your goals. And what you can do is think about your goals in different parts of your life. Okay, so like family goals, love goals, career goals, relationship goals, whatever those things are. A lot of my board focuses on career and things that I want to pursue, because doing the things that I love are very therapeutic. So none of this is work for me. I mean, these are things that I absolutely love to do. I put my heart and soul in. So it kind of does two things for me. It's very therapeutic, and I'm trying to also, you know, build a following and a career from all of these things. And things that you want to incorporate into your life, whatever those are. So it might be a trip that you want to take. And I know we're all quarantined now, but I want you to think about what your world's going to look like once this is more under control. I mean, I don't think that we're going to go back to a quote unquote normal. But I think we need to think about what we want our world to look like after this is all over, and maybe we get back to some sort of normal. So what does that look like for you? Perhaps it looks like, you know, really slowing down. I don't know about you, but for me, this has forced me to take a step back, take a deep breath, really figure out my priorities and what's important to me. And so, you know, I know so many of us are stressed out. We're homeschooling our kids and, you know, with all that stuff going on. And I feel you. I have a daughter, a 10-year-old who has special needs. So not only am I doing schoolwork with her, but she's missing out on all of her speech therapy and her occupational therapy and all of these things. And it's very stressful. But what I have found is that even though I'm not a professional therapist for my daughter, that I feel and I'm proud of the way I've been able to step into that role for her. And it might not be perfect, but she is still making, you know, she's still doing amazing and meeting goals. And so we can't be so hard on ourselves. And we really, and all my friends are like, well, I would just take it one day at a time. I'm like, wow, that's brave, because I take it 1 hour at a time. To look at an entire day in this mess, it's like a little too stressful. So I just want to get through each hour being as calm as I possibly can and just living, you know, in the moment, which meditation can really, really help you with. And it's funny because when you do start meditating, at least you, everything slows down. The days don't fly by. They just slow down, and you really just soak in every single second of the day, which is like so awesome. All right. So what you can do is if you have an old magazine.
Hi, Dr. Natasha.
Hi, Dr. Natasha.
Sorry, they're going to post the videos, and I will let you know when they're on YouTube. Sorry.
Oh, that is okay. So I have this magazine. You guys can find any magazines that you have in your house, any old books maybe that you don't want anymore. I have all kinds of magazines. Anxiety News, this is a great one.
They have Anxiety News.
Oh. Isn't this cool?
Yeah.
I got all kinds of, I do have 2 of these. So some of you might know this person. This is Gabby Bernstein, and she is amazing and has great books out. She's, her followers are called Spirit Junkies.
What?
And she does a lot of meditation stuff. She's great. So a funny story about this, when I was doing my vision board party in 2020, I put a post out in my community, hey, I need magazines. And I was going to have like between 20 and 30 people at this party. So I'm like, I need a ton of magazines. Just turns out that a guy in my development like works at a magazine place where they get one copy of like every magazine like all over the country. It was crazy, like absolutely crazy. And I'm going through all of them and I find this one and this, and look, she's on my vision board.
Is she the one with the ponytail?
And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, it's all connecting. It's like I'm attracting all these things into my world. It's so true. It's so true. What you focus on expands into your life. So if you're focusing on blah, it's going to be blah. Okay. So what you focus on expands into your life. You've got to believe that. I read in a book once that this is kind of a weird analogy, but weightlifters, okay? So they hooked like their brain up to, to see like the brain waves and stuff. So when they were lifting weights, it activated a certain part of their brain, right?
Yes.
When they just thought about lifting weights, it activated the same part of their brain. So your brain is super, super powerful. You need to think about these things. If you want certain things in your life, you need to focus on those, whatever they are, right?
I heard that they do that with Olympians, and you can tell with men who look at porn. Right?
This is like, why I'm having you co-host with me.
It's activating. It activates.
Oh, I miss you so much.
Right?
I'm going to take a drink. I do. I miss you.
I don't need to paint the visual, but it really is powerful.
Well, we're talking vision boards. Everything's visual.
So I'm making a vision notebook. Can I show you?
Yes, please.
So I'm going to decorate my notebook, a clean notebook, because people with ADHD love notebooks. Right?
Oh my gosh, so do I. And in fact, I need to find my journal. Oh, it's out in my living room. Okay, so what I did, and we're going to talk about this, and we can talk about it now, how you use this board and whatnot. So obviously I can't carry this around with me. Like, I can't like carry it with me like a purse places so that I'm always kind of remembering and looking at it. So what you do is you take a picture of this with your phone.
Oh.
And then you can print out a bunch of tiny little versions of this and put it places. So I have a picture of this taped to the front of my journal. So because I really want to journal about these things. Remember, it's all about focusing on these things. And what happens is when you make a vision board like this, and you're just like, I don't even know if people do hang them up. And if you do, where are you hanging them? You got to hang it in a place where you're going to see it all the time, right? But I'm not in one place all the time. So I put the one I actually made, in my meditation space because I meditate with it. But I also have a copy on my bathroom mirror because I want to see it every morning and I want to see it before I go to bed. So I have a routine at my sink. I'm going to see it every single time. If you do a lot of driving and you're in your car a lot, make a copy and put it in your car. When you're at a stoplight, when you're stuck in traffic, look at it. Manifest the things that you want that are on that board. I am telling you, it works. It's creepy how it works, actually. Crazy. I mean, it's crazy. But you can make those things happen. You certainly can. So it can be a mixture of pictures and words, right? So I had a couple that I cut out like right before we went live here. So I have like a picture of somebody journaling, which is just a very clean picture. Just all it says is gratitude journal. Like there's not a lot of writing on it.
Cheerleader words.
Right. Cheerleader words. You're never too busy to get fit. So I'm like the excuse queen when it comes to exercising. So I'm really trying to get better at I have to go. It's like brushing my teeth. You have to brush your teeth every day. You're going for a bike ride every day. Going for a walk every day. Whatever it is, got to do it. Just go do it.
Is it working? Is that working?
It is. And it helps when you have a support system. So like my husband will push me. They'll be like, you've got to go. I don't even care if you just ride once around the block. And here's what happens. you get on your bike and you go around the block and you're like, you know what? I feel pretty good. I'm going to keep going. And then 5 miles later, you're like, I did it. Like, I just need to get on my bike and go.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I have found, because I always wanted to be a runner.
Yeah.
Because they're so pretty.
Oh, yeah. I run really ugly. But
like, oh, I run ugly too. I'm an ugly
like,
runner. I know. I'm like, it looks like I'm dying. Like someone's chasing me and I'm going to die.
in my head, I look
but they're
so
so
good.
fit and it's so like awesome. And I'm like, I can't run. But I have found a lot of joy in bike riding. I'm able to control my breath a little bit better so I don't feel like I'm going to pass out. Like you can take an easier break on a bike. So for me, anyway, it works. So,
and that helps with my mood. I don't know.
Oh my
I
gosh.
call it my Prozac. I mean, I do take sertraline,
right.
but I call it my Prozac, like for sure.
Right.
It helps my mood when
right.
a lot.
Bill's putting notes under the door to let me know where he's going.
That's so romantic. Does it say I love you?
Oh no, that looks great. Going on a scooter ride, burritos are going to be here at 5:50.
That's so romantic. That's hot.
No,
she has such a cute husband. Have you guys seen her husband? He's so cute. Her husband's
so funny.
So cute. He's like a surfer kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else? Oh,
all right.
This one has been very important to me. Detox from your phone.
Ooh.
Man. It's tough to find that balance because I like to stay connected to people that have questions for me about Weight Watchers or dieting or autism or postpartum depression or whatever. So I like to be available to people all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just me, right? Do you remember, Maureen, we used to talk about this when we were making the film. What it would feel like, you know, we knew what it would have felt like when we would call a doctor and there'd be no appointments, or when we would, you know, reach out to whoever and you would get a wrong number, or, you know, this support group's no longer whatever in service. And it would be, it's just like, when I reach out to somebody, it means I need to talk to you right now. Like that, it means I need you. And so my assumption is when people reach out to me, I feel like they're reaching out because they're in some sort of distress, like right then and there. And maybe it's nothing like super duper serious, but they need to hear somebody's voice and know that at that moment there's somebody there, right? So and it's funny because I listened in a little bit to I think it was Kimberly who was talking about boundaries and setting boundaries, and I've gotten better at that. I'm not great, but I've learned to say no more to things that aren't going to bring me joy.
Yeah.
Or things that are not healthy for me. I mean, I ask myself that question a lot before pretty much anything. Before I eat something, before I talk to someone, I say, is this healthy for me?
Wow.
Like, is this healthy?
Wow.
Because if it's not, what am I doing? Like, you know, not before like a piece of cake or something.
No, but I love that.
You know what I mean? Like, is this healthy? Like, is this person even healthy for me? Because if they're not, I mean,
I've gotten really good at that.
Yeah, I have too. I have less friends now. But that is okay. Everyone I have means something to me. It's not about how many, it's about quality, not quantity, right?
Right, yeah.
Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention too was this vision board's pretty big. I mean, this is like a big vision board. You could easily take you know, a piece of poster board and cut it into something a little bit smaller so that you do have something that maybe you can carry around with you, you know, or you can have multiple ones. You don't have to have just one vision board. You can make multiple vision boards. Maybe you have one that, you know, motivates you while you're at work. So maybe you're like in a cubicle or you have your own desk or whatever. Make one that's just focused on things that you want to focus on when you're at work. So maybe it's a board that forces you to take breaks, that forces you to eat a healthy lunch. You know, maybe it forces you to leave on time, right? So that could be something that you put together as well. You can have family ones, you can have relationship. I mean, there's all different kinds of things, but the main goal is that, especially every and any image that you put on that board, you need to have some sort of emotion attached to it. It needs to be more than just a picture. You know, so I have a picture on here, and I didn't really talk about this picture much, but the picture on the bottom here, this is a picture of the pool at Hawks Cay Resort in the Keys, which is like one of my favorite places to be. And this is on here because my friend and I said, when we get to our goal weight, we're going to go to Hawks Cay for like a little reward, like a treat. Okay, neither one of us has made it anywhere close to our goal weight. Like, we're just not there. But I know the feeling of laying by that pool. Like, it sounds nice. It feels good. It smells nice, right? It's all about the senses. And we talk about this a lot with self-care, right? We talk about, you know, being able to transform your mood and transform where you are just by activating the different senses. So that's why I lit an incense in here. That's why I have candles. I love to see that. That's why I have pictures of things that make me happy. I'm sitting on a really fluffy pillows that I like to touch. I like to taste tequila, so that's why that's no, I usually don't have the taste thing, but my husband was nice enough to make that. But so, you know, you have to make sure that the images on here do activate some sort of sensory experience for you. You know, if you put a picture on there of somebody running, it's not just that you want to run. It's what is that feeling you're going to get while you're running and after you've done that run? What is that? You know, is that endorphins high? Think about that, you know? And so when you look at your vision board, that's what you need to feel when you look at that picture. Okay. That's what it is. We want to make sure that you're connecting all of those images with some sort of emotion, energy, you know, whatever it is. The other thing that you want to do too when your board is finished, not only finding great places to put it, but you want to share it with people. You know, share it with your partner, share it with people that you come in contact with, and then ask them to be mindful of asking you about it when they see you. So, or not see you, I guess, 6 feet away, or when you text or call on the phone, to say, hey, you know, how's it going with your vision board, you know, or make one with a friend so that you're just going to call each other and talk about your vision boards and what's on them. It's a great conversation starter. And again, it's great to focus on those things because remember, what you focus on expands into your life, right? You have to make that happen. And then certainly reflecting on your board. So not just looking at it, not just going, oh, that's nice. Really, really, I mean, I meditate on mine. So what does that mean, right? What does it mean to meditate on your vision board? It doesn't mean I sit on it. It means that, you know, I take cleansing breaths because meditation is really about the breath, and I've gotten better at it. I'm not perfect, and I've only been meditating like for a solid like 2 weeks, so I'm very new at this whole thing. But it's all about consistency. So if you can keep it going consistent, it does work out. So I'll take one image on here. Maybe it's the public speaking one that's right front and center, and really just connect usually a mantra to it. So I'll say it out loud. Like,
what does that mean?
So say like a word or a phrase. You know, I'm strong. I can do this. This will happen for me. You know, and actually the mantra that I say a lot is actually on my vision board. I do not need to have everything perfect to prove I'm an expert. That's a big thing for me. Remember, Marie, we always used to say, I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm only licensed to drive. Like that was like every time like we would do like an interview or talk in front of a group of people, I was like, I'm not a therapist. I'm just a mom with an experience, right? Yeah. And so we think like before we can take some sort of ownership of whatever and kind of like spew it out to other people that we have to have some letters behind our name. And that's not true. I mean, it's just not true. You could certainly be an expert in something, right? We're all experts in our story. I mean, we've been sharing our stories all week, right? And guess what? You save lives.
Aww.
Doing that. That's all I did was share my story at that first support group at my local library. And I was like, whoa, my story is super powerful. So who else can I tell this story to? Right. And of course, you gave me the ultimate platform of being able to put it on the big screen. And so, you know, that's what it's all about. And so I say that a lot. I don't have to have everything perfect. And that's huge. Not to get too much into meditation, but I am very excited about it. I did just order my first set of prayer beads. So I'm really excited about that. And then that makes it actually a little bit easier for you to say your mantras. The bead, there's 108 beads. And so you say it 108 times and you run the beads through your fingers. So that kind of keeps you on track with how many times you're saying it. 108 is supposed to be like some crazy good number. I don't know. So whatever. They were pretty. We'll leave it at that. So saying something, saying a mantra, whatever it is that connects you to your board is a really good way to meditate with it. You can simply just look at it, but actually talk out loud the emotions that you're going to feel when you bring some of these things to fruition. You know, for me, you know, the public speaking and sharing my story is super powerful. So I do connect, you know, saving families with that, and you know, and saving lives and bringing families together and healing other women and families and all of that. So I definitely connect that with my public speaking. You know, super attractor is a huge one. You know, what can we attract into, and Gabby Bernstein talks a lot about this. So I would definitely look her up if you're interested in any of the
I attracted you. We attracted each other.
I know. It's so crazy how we met. And I'm so happy we put that in the film.
It was
I think
so
that's
random.
such an important piece of like the whole thing. Allie was still in diapers. You know what? That was 2012.
I was still breastfeeding, and a lot of those shots, I had milk in my boobs.
Oh, yes, I do recall. Do you remember when we went to the PSI conference and you forgot your thing? And we had to get...
Well, I thought I was going to stop. I was going to wean him.
Oh, that's right. We were trying to...
I didn't know.
Great time to try to start.
There were like rocks.
Wasn't there a baby at the conference that started crying and your boobs were just like... You're like, stop the baby from crying. That was a crazy trip. It was so crazy. Oh, man. Hey, let me just say, talking about Dark Side of the Full Moon, I just got an email today. I've gotten 3 emails this week.
No.
I swear to you.
No.
It's crazy. No. All of these, and I'm like giving them a link.
I mean, what can we do? Like,
what do we do? They're like, we had the educational platform and we all went virtual, and now we want our students to see it and we can't. So I'm like, here you go. They are like thrilled to death that they can continue to show this film, spark up that conversation with their students, which is so awesome.
I always hear women, you've made it so women can express those intrusive thoughts when your story was so powerful. And I remember my mother watching your story and my mother crying at your story. That moved me so much that she cried. But I have a woman in a support group now who was like, that woman who told, you know, shared her story about the intrusive thoughts. I knew there was something wrong. Like your story really helped so many women be able to say it out loud and then they could get help. And not feel like they were alone or crazy.
Oh, absolutely. And when you say it out loud, then it makes it real. So when you don't say it, you're like, okay, it's not really happening. It's just in here. Yeah. But the relief that you feel when you finally tell somebody is like unbelievable, right? I mean, it's just like the weight of the world gets. I remember when I told my husband, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I feel like 30% better. It doesn't feel great, but it feels better that somebody else knows.
Well, you feel safer, right? Somebody else.
Of course, you feel safer and you feel like, you know, I'm not a secret keeper. I mean, like it just comes out. Like I wear my emotions like right here on my sleeve. I'm like a post, like everything I feel is just all on the outside. So that was a really hard thing for me for 6 months, and during my pregnancy and like right after, to not tell anybody that I was like having these crazy, horrific.
I don't know how you did it. I don't know how.
I don't know how I did it either, because when I had my relapse in 2017, I lasted 2 days.
Wow.
2 days, and I'm like, hi, having crazy thoughts again. Please help me.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 days. And you were talking about this earlier this morning, how you don't let it go. So like, you know, when the spiral's starting to happen, and you know, put on the good music and just try to get yourself out of there. Right.
This December was hard for me. And I was going low, and I was like, told my best friend and my husband, I was like, I'm going low.
Yeah.
Like, flag is flying. I'm letting you know. Like, I don't know what's happening. Like, I'm really, where I wouldn't keep it to myself.
Right.
Like,
yeah, absolutely. Right? Yeah. I mean,
because we know it feels better, right? We know what it feels like to be not better and then to be better. And so we wouldn't waste any time to be better now.
Right. And so many times it happens to us moms who are like A-type, you know, like type A personalities, where we're like pretty much in control of everything all the time. And so when you're not in control of things that are going on up here, and you can't figure out, like, you know, how to control it or what's going on, I mean, obviously you feel like you're losing your mind, because you're like, I have got everything under control, like, all the time. So what is this now that I can't just stop thinking about this, or I can't think about something else, or I can't, I mean,
that was like when I was going through it, I would trying to find help, I would say, I went to bed one way, and then I woke up somebody else.
Right.
I don't know how to tell you, like, I was normal, and then I was not normal. Like, I felt like Cinderella, like, or the it got out. And it was because of that control. I had always had control. And then all of a sudden I didn't. And I was like, no, something's wrong.
Yeah, something's really wrong. Yes.
I'm cutting my papers.
Awesome. So what are you putting on your board, Maureen?
I'm trying to focus on the Mom's Well business. So we were so close to so many amazing opportunities, like within 2 weeks of the virus, the pandemic, like amazing. Like, we could have been screening 38,000 women in like a snap, right? Yeah. And then Corona. And it was like boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So I want to just focus on that. I want to see those things coming back. Coming back. Yeah.
So what are you putting on your board to make that happen?
So, gosh, you're so good.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
You're good. Like,
I just want to know, like, what, you know, what does that look like for you? Like, what would that look like on your board so that you can?
You're so good. So, like, tools, health depends on it. 1,000 clicks a day. I'm thinking from providers.
I think that's perfect.
Don't think twice. Like, relax. Like, I want to feel like it's already happened. Like, don't worry. Stop worrying about it. Just come from the place of, like, it's doing what it's supposed to. It's working, and doctors want it.
I love that.
And then I want to start a punk mom band.
I thought you already had a band.
Well, so it's a band, but it's not I want to start a punk perimenopause mom band.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
do you have a band name?
I do. They're super inappropriate. Like,
Call me later.
Like, milk jugs.
Oh my God. I can't with you.
Right? So like, sour milk.
Oh my God.
I'm like,
oh gosh. I hope the people
have songs, right?
Yeah.
So I found this one.
What's that say?
Punk be a lady. Punk be a lady. So I have these women, but they're still sticking to this School of Rock band, and I'm trying to pull them away, right?
Right.
So we can play punk music and, you know, like, play music about, like, saggy boobs.
Oh my gosh, I love
like, we're gonna create a new genre, you know? Perimenopause punk band. Like, it's like, what other age group has a better reason to be in angst? Like,
I don't know.
I'm peeing my pants. I'm laughing.
Oh my God. I love it. I love it. You should definitely make sure that all the conferences are aware of your aspirations. You should be the band conference. Can you see it now? I totally see
at PSI, you mean?
Yeah, PSI conference.
I have one called postpartum depression. It's like an experimental, just crazy noise, like.
My gosh. Can you imagine? Oh.
Like Birdie in the audience, like, ooh.
Oh my God, I love her. Oh.
They're so good, right? Like
they're so good.
The official PSI band.
The official PSI. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
OCD.
Go on tour. That is so funny. Let me do your website.
Oh my God, yes.
I will build your website for you.
I totally see you becoming all these things. I think you've already become them, and I don't think you realize it.
Become what? What do you mean?
Well, the speaker, the online presence. I've noticed that your views for your videos are going up and up and up and up and up. So, like, I feel like your vision board, you've always been a manifester. I mean, always.
Thank you.
That's
very nice.
You've always done everything that you set out, and you do it in a big way. So
you're so sweet.
I love that you found an outlet where you could put it on the paper with images and words.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because I think too, especially in times like this, is that we forget about these things. We get lost in the madness of homeschooling and finances and just like the news and you know, it's like can be sometimes overwhelming, and then you kind of, I mean, I can honestly say that like this is me, and when I don't think of these things, I'm not me. Right? I'm like lost somewhere. And so like this grounds me, like this you know, when I look at this, I can refocus. Like, yes, this is what, you know, it's like a to-do list for your life. Like your whole life, like the big umbrella of your life, like not like dishes, laundry, whatever. I mean, it's like, you know, it's just like the big umbrella of things. And when you're able to focus on things that you want to have happen, you're just in a better mood. I'm all about chain reactions.
Wow.
Okay. And so, you know, for me, especially because I worked at Weight Watchers for like ever and a day, and and obviously still do their program, you know, it starts with one thing that can create chain reactions for the rest of your day, whatever it is. So when I wake up, and the first thing I do before I even look at my phone or whatever, and the only reason why I look at my phone is because my meditation app is on it. But I won't open my email. I don't open up any social media apps. I go right to my Calm app and I do my meditation. I try to do it before my
right in bed.
In
bed, or do you get out of bed and go to your meditation corner?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes I will just lay in bed and right from there. It depends on how I feel. Like if I feel I can get up and not be distracted by anything, I'll do it. But if I feel like I'm going to get up and my daughter's going to be like, hey, I want this and that, and then I'm just like, then I'm just going to stay in my bed. And maybe I do both. Like stay in your bed just for like, and there's meditations that are 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Just lay in my bed, do the 2 minutes of meditation, go into the bathroom, brush my teeth, go to the bathroom, put in my contacts, look at my board that's on my mirror, right? And then when I do that, I'm calm, right? So everything is feeling good. So typically what's going to happen is I'm going to make a really good choice for breakfast.
Aww.
Right?
Right.
And then when I make a good choice for breakfast, I feel good. I'm you know, putting nutrients into my body, not like glazed donuts, which are good. Like I'm not saying I never eat donuts.
They hurt your tummy though. They make me.
I'm talking about daily life, like you know.
Yeah.
When I eat a donut, yeah, it tastes good, but then I feel like total crud like afterwards, right? So I do that. Let me check my phone. Hang on one second. Our doorbell just rang, and I bet you it's the burritos.
The burritos?
The burritos are here.
You have burritos?
Yeah, this is, remember the note that I showed you? He said 5:30 or 5:50, burritos will be here.
ADD.
Oh, he spelled it with one R. He's not a very good speller.
Don't you throw him under the bus?
Oh, no,
He's eye candy. He doesn't have to be a speller. Jeez.
I think he's home.
I tell my husband that about his personality. I'm like, you're just my eye candy. Just keep your mouth shut and look sexy. Like,
no, he's really good.
Of course, he's not sexy to anybody else because he's like Harry.
Oh, he Nemo.
Is. He's like Captain
doing
Nemo.
that whole diving thing.
Captain Nemo meets homeless man. That's my look. That's my type.
You're so funny. You're so funny.
Yeah, he's still diving. Still.
He is?
Yep.
Lionfish?
No, he does environmental impact.
Oh, that's right.
Diving stuff.
Okay. Okay, so getting back to chain reactions, right? So we wake up, we meditate, we feel good, we eat well. Typically that will, spark some, maybe I should get out for a walk today. I mean, these are all things that just feed into each other. And so that's why I think starting the day off is on the right foot is really important. And so starting out with a really good.
You almost missed the door.
Okay, sorry. I almost missed the burritos. That's why it's so important to kind of start your day in a positive light. And hopefully looking at your vision board is part of that experience.
What are the touch points for your life, like in your day? So you wake up, you don't open
I don't open my emails. I don't look at social media. I immediately open up my Calm app and listen to a morning meditation. Or I'll just listen to a soundscape, so just music. Like anything just to kind of center me. And it also makes a big difference, too, on how well you slept. Because I'm usually a really good sleeper, but like lately, because of all this pandemic stuff and all of that, I've been waking up like at weird times or just sleeping through the night, but then waking up and not feeling rested. So that really depends then how long I'll listen to the meditation. So, and that's what I like about the Calm app because it'll tell you how long it is. So if you have a lot of time, and like on the weekends I do because, my husband's not, he's still going into, actually he's home for the next 2 weeks, but when he goes into work, I get up with our daughter kind of right away. So I don't have any downtime, but like on the weekends, like tomorrow, I'm going to listen to my meditation and then I'm going for my 5-mile bike ride. Like that's what I do on Saturdays and Sundays. And then, just really making sure that I check in with myself, to make sure that everything I'm doing, is healthy for myself, is healthy for my mind, my body, relationships, whatever it is, just constantly checking in. Because if I don't do that, I start making really bad decisions about stuff.
And wouldn't you say that your experience with a maternal mental health disorder kind of like helped you to?
Of course, I'm able to recognize it. And you talked about this a little bit this morning, as I'm able to recognize it and do something about it. Because I think a lot of us moms know what happens when we don't address it.
Yeah.
Right? And we just, get deeper and deeper into, depression, anxiety, or, whatever it is that you manifest. And it's hard to get out of it. And so when we address it really quickly, and that's why we want moms to be screened, right? We want them to be screened so that it can be identified faster. They feel comfortable talking about it so that, if they aren't symptomatic at the time, when they become symptomatic, they'll go to their doctor, and have that conversation. And that's when we talk about stigma and all of those things, I slowly think the stigma though is being chipped away.
I think so too.
I mean, I think when we started the film, it still was very like hush hush. Like I feel like it still really wasn't talked about. And it was talked about in the professional setting, but it wasn't talked about in like the day-to-day, like mommy stuff. As much. And so that's where I think we've kind of shifted a little bit where, moms are really taking charge of their well-being and their health and being being their own advocates for stuff, which is what we've always said you had to do, because no one else was going to be an advocate for you. Of course, all of us moms who've been through it are advocating on behalf of all those moms that haven't gone through it yet and will, or whatever. But, you know, I mean, and that's what we have to do. And I'm actually finding that with a lot of stuff. So I remember when Allie was diagnosed with autism, there certainly wasn't anybody that was advocating for her. You know what I mean? Like I had to become her advocate.
Yeah.
You know, I had to advocate for her and what I knew that she needed. And you know, it's all about like learning it. And it's really interesting to be an advocate for somebody who, with an experience that you've never experienced, which is so weird. You know, I'm trying to advocate for Allie, who has autism, and I don't know what that's like. You know what I mean? And so it's really like, like getting into her space to really, and she's nonverbal. So it's not even like she can tell me what it's like, you know? So it's really, you know, and then you just learn everything. I mean, that's what you do. You learn about it. And that's what we did right after we had the experience. And then we went back and looked at all of the research and the science and all of those things and tried to connect that with the human story, which you are just amazing at getting stories out of people, that you know, we kind of blended those two things together, I think, so beautifully, which is why I think the film has been such a success, because it does both. Oh, and Daddy forgot to lock the door. What? Baby hippos? Clubhouse? Oh, she's a talker.
Her legs are so long.
I know. She's going to be like 6'1" $1 million.
Oh my God.
Can you say hi?
Oh,
I
hi,
can't see
Allie.
you, honey. Here. There she goes.
Hi, Allie. Bye, Allie. Oh my gosh, she's so
I'm drinking.
tall.
Close the door. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. That was a gift. That was a gift.
So funny.
Aww.
So anywho, so circling back to vision boards, it's important for me. I had been doing vision boards for a long time, and I always thought of it as a craft. Like it was like, you know, a scrapbook. It was just like something I would make, and nothing really meant anything. I just put pretty pictures on it and whatever. And then I would read these stories about people who are like, oh, I put, you know, a brand new car on mine, and I got that car by the end of the year, you know, or whatever. And I'm like, yeah. Like that, you know, what? Like, that's not happening. If that was the case, everybody would be making vision boards, right? But it's true. Like, it really does work. I mean, I'm not putting things like that on my board. It certainly could. But it works. But you have to use it. It's like anything else. If you don't actually use it as a tool in your life, it's not going to do anything for you.
Wow.
Right?
Ooh, truth bomb. Bam.
Truth bomb. It's
good.
it's like Weight Watchers. You can have the app on your phone, but if you're not tracking your food, it isn't going to work.
I started Weight Watchers. I'm on week
again. You did?
I did. I did keto. I lost so much weight, and then I stopped keto.
Yeah,
I got 20 pounds back on really fast, and I was like, oh. It's not working.
Yeah, not working.
I need to be healthy. Yeah. It's
so true. We just, God, we could spend a whole hour talking about eating healthy. We won't do that. It's Friday night, and I'm drinking a margarita and about to eat a big burrito. So let's not talk about anything that has to do with food or drinks. But I really hope that everyone out there who's interested in doing a vision board actually puts one together. I'm hoping maybe that they can post their vision boards and tag maybe the MHW network.
Yeah, what a great idea. I love that.
And we can see them. They can tag me too if they want, at Jen Silliman. And I would love to see them because it's really neat to see what people put on their boards and what those images mean to them. It's usually a story behind each one, and I just find that absolutely fascinating. I love it. I feel like it's like somebody's book. Like it's like their page of their snapshot of their life that they want to have come true, and it's super cool. I love it. So
I felt really honored that you shared yours with us. Like, it does feel like this personal, but it also helps us hold it for you too, to see you with that. And then that's really powerful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is so fun. I feel like we need to have like a comedy hour, me and you.
Oh my, no, you are you're such a good communicator.
Thank you.
That's so good. So good. I've already spilled my wine once on my
I spilled my margarita on my meditation table. I don't think that's good. My poor meditation table has like a margarita ring on it.
Oh my God, they should do drunk maternal mental health explanations, right?
Yeah.
Like, they get some people drunk and they're like, let me tell you.
Yeah, let me show you.
BPD is what? Right? That would be crazy. Like drunk history.
Or drunk meditation. Can you imagine? Oh man, it's crazy. It's so crazy. I'm trying to think if I left anything out.
Have your women that you work with, they do these? Have they had any positive effects in their life? Have you seen that?
Yes, circling back to my teen moms, I mean, a lot of them focus their boards around graduation and, getting into the career that they want to get into, which is so cool. And a lot of them do make those things come true. And that's when you know that it really, it works. You can attract these things into your life if you focus on them. But you have to focus on them. And what's so great about focusing on them is that it should be calming for you. I mean, when you look at these things and you focus on it, you shouldn't feel stressed out. That's not going to bring you any of these things. You need to look at all these things through like a really, really calm, tranquil lens. That's why really concentrating on it when you're meditating is great, because you're already in that space of feeling calm and you're really focusing on it. And you're activating all the senses with the things that you have maybe in your meditation space, or just simply wherever you are. And maybe you're even outside. I mean, you can meditate outside. You don't have to have a special spot, whatever works for you. But, you need to be looking at this and not getting stressed out. So if too many images stress you out, then don't put a lot of images on them. If too many words, if that's overwhelming for you, then don't do that. If there's a certain way that you need to organize it so that your brain can process it when you look at it, then set it up that way. And here's the thing, you can always change it. You don't have to keep, if you look at something, if you put something on your board and maybe in January it was great, but now because of the pandemic or because of whatever, it's stressing you out. Like maybe it had something to do with finances and now you don't have a job, or something's going on. Well, looking at that is probably going to be extremely stressful. So take it off your board and put something else on there. Anything, something else, something, that you can do in the meantime, that makes you feel good, because that would be stressful. But you can always change these things. And you don't have to rip them off. Just cover it up. Just cover it up with something else, because maybe you'll go back to that, and then it's still there. But you don't actually have to see it. So many things. So many things. We only have 1 minute and 28 seconds left.
No.
That's what it says. That was the fastest hour of my life.
Oh my gosh. I'm like,
how did that happen?
Like, I'm getting there.
I like it.
I'm getting there.
I love it. You have to show it to me when you're all done.
Okay, yes, I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Very cool.
What do you want to impart on us, like, as we're leaving? And
I think what I said from the very beginning, what we focus on expands into your life. So whatever it is for you, and it could be reaching out for help if you have it. It could be changing careers. It could be, getting out of relationships that aren't healthy. Whatever that is. But I mean, we can always, and then my business card has a really good quote. You're always one decision away from a totally different life.
What?
Your brain just exploded, didn't it? I'll read it one more time. You're always one decision away from a completely different life.
That's so huge.
So what is that decision? You know, is it to eat healthier? Is it to, you know, spend more time with friends? Is it to, you know, what is it? Whatever.